Yo, welcome to today's video. What is glow sticking? Part 2, baby. Thanks Peachy for sending me this glow sticking jersey. It's crazy. I haven't This is my first time wearing it. So yeah, I'm gonna talk. I made a video on what is glow sticking a couple months ago, a couple weeks ago back. And I feel like I still have a little bit more to say about it. And I picked up glow stringing like 2007, so 15 years ago. That's kind of like how it started for me, and maybe for some people as well. And I haven't really been practicing glow stringing in that time span, because I've been like busy juggling and doing other stuff. And but recently I've kind of like slowly come back and start playing with it, thanks to Eric and Aqua. And yeah, today I will make a video about what is glow sticking part 2. And I think glow sticking is pretty interesting. It's like a right now it feels like a vintage art form. Um, I think it started existing in the late '90s, early 2000s. This is one of video that is like from way back. You guys are from back in the day. Probably you guys would maybe remember this video. Maybe check it out. Like this one. You guys remember this one? Practice on the floor and at the quality, the pixelated quality. This is definitely like early 2000s for sure. Music for sure. Yeah, this is like low string back in the day. Um, and you know what's also interesting about glow stringing? Because I feel glow sticking, I guess in general, I feel like because it's around the era of like late '90s, early 2000s, and so if you look at the timeline, um, if you were born as a millennial, you were kind of like in like your late teens or like young adult, and so chances are like if you were going to raves and stuff, and you probably see it, maybe you pick it up, and so that's kind of like where the era of it all started. Because if you were born later, let's say if you're like a Gen Zer in like the late '90s, you were probably like 5 years old, like when all this was happening. And I think like as a 5 year old, I think it's kind of like it's not surprising if a 5 year old is learning how to juggle three balls. Maybe spin some poi, because I do know there's some people that started when they were like 10, 12 years old. They were like spinning some poi. Like glow sticking is predominantly a rave culture kind of thing. So like to have like a 5 year old like spin glow sticks, I don't that would be like crazy. But I mean, it is possible out there. I don't know. I just don't know about it. So that's why I think it's like a very millennial kind of like art form. And technology during that time also like was like a thing, like early 2000s. Like there wasn't a lot of LED props. They were like really well made, and the community was like way smaller, and demand isn't there. But let's check out this second video. The second video, it's yeah, the one and only legend, Melvernock. Super high level, looks like Michael Sarah a little bit. Very clean stringing. Uh, like some kind of engineer now somewhere in like Cali. But guy was definitely like out of control. Very distinct, very his own style. Very quick and very technical. Look at that. Oh, what I have not seen. But yeah, glow stringing. And let's talk about like what differentiates glow stringing from poi. I was thinking about this a lot. I think the first thing come to my mind that differentiates like glow string and poi is the length of the string. The length of the string. So glow string usually are like shoelaces, and they typically range from maybe like 20 something to 30 something inches. And when you tie it in half, it it's like 17 to like maybe like 20 inches. And the way when you like wrap it up on your hand, saw what he did, he also like catches it. So this is like a part of like glow stringing that's like very proprietary to its like nature. like catch the prop. And so if it's longer, then you would have to do extra wraps. So this is kind of like the typical like length, right? So when the length is that distance or that length, it creates a specific speed of RPM that makes it like faster. Poi spinning. Poi, ball and string. Typically poi. There are people like that use short poi, but typically they range from like 22 to 25, maybe on the long end 27 inches tip to tip. You rarely see people spinning like shorter poi. And so with the longer poi, you have like more of like a slower like a slower arc. The key of that is actually like trying to like keep what they call the flowers clean. So this is the I don't know who this guy is. He's all right. This was spun in like Portland, Oregon. At the time, um, I just felt it was an okay spin, but the algorithm has at this time has 650,000 views on tubes. So you can see the movement is like slower, right? So that's like the length. And next, we'll talk about the size of the head. So typically a glow stick is like they use you can use longer glow sticks or bigger, but typically it's a 6-inch like glow stick, so it's kind of like smaller. So when it like bounces around, the response is quicker because it's smaller. So it's like more like agile. Poi heads are typically ranging from anywhere from 100 millimeter, like 4-inch, to like 70 to 80, but usually it's 80 to like 100. So they're like bigger. Bigger makes it slower. And not only makes it slower when you do like wraps, like clunky. You can do it. It's not really like conducive to its like utility. So so I think like when you think about like the different size of the string and the way you wrap, I think that's kind of like where it differentiates. Like, of course, you can use poi and do a lot of wraps, and it's like kind of like clunky and slower. Or you can do glow stick and do no wraps and just spin flowers. And like, but I think that's kind of like where like the prop kind of like changes, like whether you're doing poi or you're doing like glow stringing or like a mix of both. I guess it really depends and it changes. See here, yeah, so the determining on like the amount of percentage of how much reps do you do and how much poi do you do like differentiates like is it glow string or is it poi. And also because poi is like a slower tempo, it's typically spun to like BPM, like beats per minute, towards like a slower tempo kind of like style of music. That's how I noticed my style of music changed over the years. Like as I changed prop, my style of music changed. As I was like in the glow stringing days, I was listening to a lot of like faster like trance and stuff. But yeah, hope you guys keep on stringing, do the thing, keep well. Thanks for checking out the video. It means a lot. Thanks for sharing it. Like all the stuff, please click like, subscribe, and share. And click the bell. And I stream on Twitch. You can come and hang out. I hang out on Discord as well. Make content on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. Socials below. And yeah, have a wonderful day. I hope you enjoyed this video, and peace.